You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
It's an elimination game. And Liam Horrobin is going to be in the building. You're cooked, LA. Let's get into it with the lead. Dressed in his finest quarter zip and the same black pair of shorts he's worn every day this week. Dialed in for game day.
They're my lucky shorts.
I think after they ruin their luck, I don't want the luck ever to be ruined. Never mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just think, no, all good.
We're ready to go.
Doesn't matter what I was thinking.
Sherwood Ford Giant Gameday edition of the show coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. From jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. It's also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Sherwood Ford Giant Game Days don't get all that much bigger than this. Home ice with a chance to wrap up this series in 6 games against the LA Kings. Listen, everyone loves having home ice advantage in the playoffs, but the one thing I always say, if you have Game 7 at home, that means you have Game 6 on the road, and there is something about having Game 6 at home that can play into your advantage, and I mean, this series has played out, in hindsight, absolutely perfectly for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, even after being down 2-0, we said you got 3 of the next 4 games at home and you got to steal 1 on the road.
I'm just reeling from this statement. I've always said that if Game 7's on the road, Game 6 is at home. Taylor, it should go on your tombstone. You're so well known for that statement.
Yeah, I've said it so many times. It's really hard to not feel confident in this hockey team heading into tonight's hockey game. But at the same time, there is a little part of me, I don't know if it's Oilers fan PTSD or whatever, there is that little part of me that's like, sometimes when you feel too good about the Oilers, they tend to lay a little bit of a stinker. But Aaron made a good point before the show, Jay, and it's something you talked about. Last year, Game 6, the Oilers drag Florida back to Edmonton. They drag them back to Alberta, and you kind of said, win Game 5, and the fans win you Game 6. Do you have that same vibe here tonight?
100%. It's this has been such a interesting and emotional series as an Oilers fan and now as a Kings fan, that you know the Kings are going to bring their best tonight because they've made some mistakes, they've been embarrassed. You know they're gonna try their best. I think Oilers are. Man, are they a different team right now?
They are.
And the thing that's going to tilt them over the edge is just the maximum energy that we provide in our building. Those are the things, those Kemper chants after a goal against, all those little things, just hits in hockey. Every little opportunity like that unlocks an advantage. It might just be small steps, small bites of that, but every little bit does lead to a tipping point, and so we have a job to do.
Drip by drip, the can leaks over.
What?
We're pushing them over the edge. They can't take it anymore. They're not good enough to beat us.
I agree with that. Honestly,
it looked that way. If this is the Edmonton Oilers, we thought we were going to have Game 1 of the season.
We actually haven't seen them play this well all year.
No, this is what we thought they were going to be. This is when, this is what we, Skinner's not in the lineup, but this is what we thought Arvidsson was going to be. He was going to be a factor. He was going to be annoying.
And he's not even playing.
But
Arvidsson has only played more than double-digit minutes in the last 3 games.
But
he's been great.
But when he's there, you see him.
Totally. 100%
he's being deployed effectively, and he's been a factor.
Yeah, all of them have. You think you go through the list, and Henrique has been, I would say, the most underwhelming forward is probably fair considering he's healthy. I think I'm adding that into it too. But even him, he had a great chance to end it in overtime. He was there. He's played a role in this series to an extent.
Well, we're creating. Our creation per 60 is through the roof.
Creation per 60.
Yeah, we be creating. Yeah, drip by drip, we create.
Drip by drip, we're creating.
That was a hell of a saying. Do you straight off the top of the dome?
It just came to me.
Drip by drip, the can push.
Pushes itself over the edge.
Can we get that on like a black and white quote card?
I don't even know. I think I can't even connect it to what it is you're trying to say.
Oh God, no, it makes
I'm
no
just
sense.
saying, we're pushing them over the edge. They can't take it anymore. They got nothing left.
With every drip.
With every drip, with every pass, with every hit, the Kings become less and less royal. More like jokers than anything.
There's a referendum. There's a monarchy referendum right now.
Let's get to what's trending. We have a friend from radio school, Devin. Shout out to Devin, who's been watching the show every day. And every day he DMs us in our group chat and says the part of the show that made him laugh the funniest. And it's just always a Liam line. I think we know what today's was. I think we know what's coming in the group chat.
By
Liam.
drip.
He also said earlier in the week, when I said we're getting Boston Pizza dropped off on Wednesday, Liam said, "Good, I'm always hungry on Wednesdays." And you were hungry yesterday.
Was there cheesecake?
No cheesecake. We had the hottest wings I had in my life. It was insane.
That was crazy.
I would love to have tried them.
Oh.
I'm
Didn't ask
glad I
Zach
did.
how he did yesterday.
I love it. I respect Zach's naivete in the power of the audience.
Yes. Yeah. Especially Mistaken Mex.
Making a simple challenge like that. Shout out Mistaken Mexican for supporting a good cause.
Yeah.
But
And
you
shout out
had to know your bluff was going to get called, sir.
And shout out to Mistaken Mexican for hooking you up tonight.
Mistaken Mexican bought me a ticket for the game tonight.
What a gentleman.
Next to McMullet.
Beautiful.
So we'll be there.
Liam's
Also,
gonna be
that
on
means
TV.
you're going to be on TV.
Can
if
you
they
rock
score.
like a bandana or you gotta wear this, I
I
guess.
got,
eh?
no, I got my Lucky Oilers jersey.
'Kay.
2017 Leon Draisaitl orange jersey.
Let's do a test. Wear a nation hat and see if you and McMullet ever show on television.
Wear it backwards,
I'll
though,
try.
then just the second they score, just
Yeah. Let's
try.
see.
Like,
What
Mistaken
do you mean
brings
try?
the
Try to
shirt.
wear a hat?
No, I'll try and get on television.
Well, it's
I've been wearing a hat slot recently. So
that's just the natural position McMullet is.
Well, actually, I know Mistaken Mexican always gets his shirt on, right?
Yeah.
Hope will never die. So,
But it just says hope will never die. Something that blatantly says
but is the problem the television or the in game?
because you might get viewed once, but never again.
Gotcha.
And sometimes
Blacklist.
sometimes it's like almost go to after every goal. So let's test the theory.
Okay, see what I can do. I got
what
a
if
hat
it-
laying around.
What if what?
what if this messes with McMullet's standing? I would hate to ruin this for him.
What's
You
standing?
know, I got a feeling he's got a couple things going on with him
Yeah.
that'll get him on the TV a few times.
That's a decent point.
Also, just for the record, we have been, myself and McMullet have been to a game one other time together, and it was against the Seattle Kraken a few years ago, last season.
Okay.
You know what happened in that game?
Nope.
Aaron?
Jay Woodcroft, no.
Oh, oh.
Van de Kane hat trick, overtime winner.
Ooh.
Lost a hat. First time I've ever thrown a hat.
Ooh.
And it was the one Aaron gave me with
Well, that's
the
why you got to wear a hat.
I might have to.
The power of McMullet.
All right.
He's a facilitator.
Yes, he is.
You know what I want to get to? Let's dig into this hockey game a little bit more. Also, Louie DeBrusk is going to join us at some point in the show. Aaron, he is busy at skate.
He's not here yet.
I just told Louie, I said, if you pop in between noon and 1, we'll talk Oilers with you, Lou. So you just let me know when Louie's here. But for now, let's get to some game notes, which are brought to you by our new friends at Budweiser. Budweiser has been brewed in Edmonton for 45 years. And by partnering with Mark Messier, a proud Edmontonian, on this limited edition can, which I can give you all a look at right now, actually. Look at this bad boy. They changed the letter mark of Budweiser to Edmonton. You see the 11 on there. So you can see, I think the glare hurts it, but City of Champions written right under. When we had Moose on, he talked about the carrot that's right there with the 5 chomps taken out of it as well. It really is a beautiful can. Excited, there we go, to have our friends at Budweiser on board. They're bringing back the City of Champions slogan, and we're very excited about that. These limited edition beers have been on sale in Edmonton since April 14th, so head to a liquor store near you and see if you can track them down.
The carrot is a nice one, yeah.
Carrot, yeah, the carrot's a cool little touch. Shout out to our friends at Budweiser. They know when this city is united and energized, Edmontonians express a lot of pride.
You know, I like to eat my carrots in 6 bites.
I see what you did there. I see what you did
thank
there.
you.
All right, let's get to some game notes. Just how dominant have the Edmonton Oilers been over these last couple of games? Well, let's go off of expected goals from Natural Stat Trick. In game 1 against the Kings, the Edmonton Oilers had 4.09 expected goals against. In game 2, it was 4.92. So the Kings were, just on the quality of chances they were generating, were scoring 4 to 5 goals basically in those 2 games. Game 3, that number fell a little bit. Game 3, it fell down to 2.6. In Game 4, that number fell to 3.19. And last game, Game 5, 1.67.
Yeah, I'm like, it better start with a 1.
I mean, 4.5, 4.09, 4.92. Then in the last 2 games, for that number to be down at 3.19 and 1.67, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And again, it's been 5 straight periods now of the Oilers just absolutely dominating this Kings team. And again, it's kind of a 2-pronged approach, and it's something we talk about a lot. Like, is it a trend or are they due? Like, have the Oilers truly solved something here with the LA Kings, and have the Oilers found their A game? Or did we just get, at the right time, the Oilers playing their best and the Kings playing their worst, and tonight's going to be a much, much tighter hockey game?
I think tonight will be tighter, but I think history would prove that the Oilers are able to find out the Kings and just kind of let it ride. Last year, those 2 games in LA, what was it, 6-1, 1-0, and then they came back here, and we talked about it the other day, I think it ended up being a 1-goal game, but the goals the Kings scored weren't, one of them went off the camera hole into the middle of the ice, the other one was scored with the net empty. Yeah. So the game wasn't actually like that close, as close as it maybe would seem now. I think the Oilers will do it again tonight. I don't think they're going to go out there and smoke them by any means. Obviously, LA is going to have to push them a little bit more, but I don't see a reason why Edmonton can't just close this out.
So I think now we're seeing what the Edmonton Oilers are.
Yes.
So I think we're going to get that again tonight. The answer is can the Kings elevate and respond?
Well, and that's another really interesting point in all of this.
Question.
Liam, you had the number from Gregor. Skinner faced 19 high-danger chances in 2 games.
That's like 5.5 periods.
Oh, yeah, because he got pulled. Pickard's only faced 19 in his 3.5 games.
And I think it was only 2 or 3 last game.
Yeah.
So they were just able to limit them so heavily last time around.
So again, that is like just going back to the Oilers are playing great and the Kings are playing bad, which is definitely a factor right now. Like, the Kings weren't able to get through onto Calvin Pickard. A big reason why, and I love Bruce Kurlock has an unbelievable breakdown over at Oilersnation.com, but like the third forward is coming back for the Oilers and playing really, really responsible, and it's just not allowing the Kings to get these 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s that turn into partial breakaways and grade A scoring chances. Like, the Oilers, for how good they have pushed LA down into their own end, especially last game, think about those 11 straight shots right out of the gates. For everything good they've done on that side of the red line, having the defensive responsibility with it is also just a massive, massive reason why they've stormed ahead in this series.
And we had that last year.
Oh, totally.
We clogged up the middle. We defended our blue line. We took away their room. We were creating breakaways in our own zone. In the sense of just giving space, not like missing checks, just creating so much space that a guy had essentially a breakaway. Or just crazy amount. You can't give Kempe 10 seconds with the puck to choose where he's going to shoot.
And he's really not had that chance since.
Well, you take that away. Like, the Kings did a good job of doing that with us, but now we're able to break through that, and now we've clogged that up a little bit and they're not as offensive as us.
Yeah.
We just gave them all the room to be defensive. Now that we tighten that up, when it's firepower against firepower, that they can't. Like, on paper, we win every time.
And that's always been the big differentiator, and why, again, the Oilers' depth players just not making mistakes is the biggest thing for them. Like, especially coming off a game where neither of them were on the score sheet, at least until the empty netter, Connor and Leon, they're going to get theirs. And on home ice, Connor and Leon are going to get theirs. And as much as depth scoring is great, and it's a big reason why they won last game with Janmark coming through again and the big goal from Evander Kane in the second period, the Oilers' depth players, if they just play mistake-free hockey, everything else is gravy. And in games 1 and 2, there just wasn't that mistake-free hockey.
You have a question, Jay?
All right. What have I been saying all regular season?
I don't know.
All we care about is playoff Janmark. You guys shit on him on the regular season.
Me?
Who cares?
I love Janmark.
Like, who cares? He's going to show up in the playoffs. Look at what he did for us last year. And my God, is he showing up again? So can you just cut the guy some slack?
There was that his flowers yesterday.
There was that one guy.
Should be always giving him his flowers.
No, strong disagree. You have to perform.
What are we witnessing right now in the most crucial moments of the season?
But that doesn't.
He is so
definitely-
noticeable right now.
It trumps it.
He's
for
getting
sure.
confused as McDavid sometimes.
I have not.
Leave the whiteboard.
But
Tap the sign.
but you know, I just asked for some consistency, guys. You're
No.
off the bandwagon.
That's what
you're
I'm
on the
asking for from
bandwagon.
Yanmark.
It's fine to be critical of players if you give them their flowers when they deserve it, and he deserves them. He's done really well.
He's a playoff
That
guy.
is a big cup year. Are you made of money? Every day you're doing this, and it's awesome.
Cup year, is this a tax evasion strategy? Because if it is, you have to tell us.
And we'll help.
We did this earlier in the week. I don't want to be called into a courthouse for something you guys are doing in the chat. But you know what? Let's get to it. A super chat and a very generous run. There's a whole bunch we're going to get to.
How
but
much is that? If it's red, is that crazy?
$140
Holy.
from Cup Year to the Ben Stelter Foundation. He dropped one in and said, okay, you know what? I want to read his last because it's going to tie into something else we want to do.
It'll linger around.
Yeah. First up, how do you get rid of this AI summary?
No, I don't get it either.
Leave. I can't
I
read
think you
Duran's
gotta-
super chat.
You got to click it.
Click it.
Click it again.
I'm clicking it so
No,
many times.
there you go.
Oh, I got it.
No, you're over.
Okay, Duran dropped in $13.99 right off the jump. He said, I've never felt more confident in our team, our depth, goalie, and our city. I have every belief in the guys in that room. Let's get it done and get to work on the next one. LFG Cup Year. Gas the Bird said it's a beautiful day for some regicide.
Yes.
Canadian Connor, our boy, Yanmark legend. Northside Norm, $5. Chuck Norris in net. Couldn't even stop playoff Yanmark. Cup Year.
Yes.
Cup Year then said, please send me some damn receipts.
On a $14 donation.
No, but he's the same
No,
guy.
I know, but I think
Yeah.
he could have
He
put like
donated
$1.
to say that. That's,
Yeah, okay.
that's amazing.
That's great. T. Muller asked one. He said, how late can I get to Greta and still get in? If you have a small crew, if it's like you and one other person or you're solo, Aaron, you can probably get a spot at the bar right up till puck drop.
Yeah, definitely up till puck drop for sure. I'd say in the first period, you can still find bar top spots. And even if you come in later,
Just come stand.
Come
Who
on
cares?
over and come stand
Yeah.
with me in the corner. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Brett just screams at the TV
Yeah.
all night long. It's
The
fantastic.
answer is anytime.
Anytime.
Bring your energy.
And
Always
if it's
welcome.
busy later, just say Boardsy at the door.
I heard there was a different password.
Yeah, I had to start giving out an actual password
Yeah, I heard
to
it was a
like
diff-
my close friends on Friday night.
Yeah.
Was it Edna Mole?
No, it's
I can't give it out. I can't give it out.
Is that one still in?
Oh no, I can change it. I can change
Oh,
it.
well, it's fine. Don't.
It was New England clam chowder.
Now we have to change it.
Yeah, now it'll be changed. Yeah.
Okay, Cup Year.
Still try it if you can.
Cup Year with his very generous $140 donation. He says, we have already broken Flames Nation. Let's break the Kings tonight. From you three, I want an enthusiastic Cup Year. Shout out, playoff, Matthias Janmark.
Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Cup year.
Cup Year.
I'll take
I
that
need a
from
bell.
Tyler.
I
I'll
want to be a
take that
town
from
crier.
Tyler.
All right.
cowbell.
On that note, do we have the clip from Flames Nation? Because you
Yes.
haven't seen it yet. I'm so excited to play this.
So many good ones.
They are focused on hating us right now.
Oh, yeah,
That
it's
is
good.
like their content cycle.
Here's the Barn Burner Boys.
Tough vibes today. I kind of figured this is how it was going to be, but it's
I don't even like the fact that I get this upset that the Oilers are winning. Like we were talking about before, I'm like, I don't get this excited if the Flames win.
God no. Oh,
Like,
I know.
I'm not doing cartwheels and right.
It's the stupid lottery balls. If McDavid
Flying
goes
and-
to any other team in the world, this is fine. But it was the one bumbling, stumbling, worst run team in hockey, and that it's just the most unlikable franchise in the league ever since. It's like, how could these asshats, these losers, these
Here we go.
incompetent fools get the best player we'll ever watch in our lives? They already had Gretzky. How?
We'll pivot.
Boomer at the end just kills me.
Boomer. Okay, first off, they're just great guys,
They're the best.
and the fact that we are that in their kitchen
It's awesome.
is amazing.
You should have seen the clip from the other Flames show we have in the Dome.
Yeah.
I think those guys are genuinely upset.
Yeah.
That clip you sent us was wild, Liam.
nuts.
The clip from In the Dome where they said if this year's Flames have McDavid and Draisaitl on them, they easily win the Stanley Cup. And then they went on. No, they go on and they go, can you imagine McDavid and Draisaitl with Kadri, Huberdeau, Uyghur, Sharangovich? And I was like, what?
Healthy scratch this year, by the way.
Sharangovich? And Morgan Frost? I was like, oh, there's a cap dump from the Flyers. What do you mean, can you imagine McDavid and Draisaitl with Morgan Frost? I absolutely can. We saw them play with Ty Ratty.
I just love, like, So if we didn't make the playoffs and the Flames were in, I wouldn't even enter my mental orbit.
I wouldn't even think about it.
The fact that it's all they're thinking
I
about.
know, it's the best.
And you know what I respect? Rhett Warner, former NHLer, normally should not give a shit at all, but played for the Flames and has got a loyalty to that market.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of respect it.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like how I wish, like, I'm not, and probably they are, like Alish Hemsky would defend Edmonton.
Rhett's face here when he gets it going. That's what I'm all about right there.
And that Tash. He has a good mullet going, too, that he's hiding.
Well, you can see it.
Yeah. I attended their playoff charity draft in my Trent Frederick jersey a few weeks ago.
The funny part about the McDavid draft is obviously the Oilers got a little bit lucky to get him. There's no doubt about it. You won the lottery.
11% chance, yeah.
But like Jack Eichel was in that draft.
We were talking earlier.
Rowensky, like still some great players the Oilers could have got. Not McDavid level by any means, but franchise.
But the idea that like
an
an Eichel, we talked about this before the show. The idea that an Eichel-Draisaitl duo wouldn't be like McKinnon-Rantanen-esque and like be good is hilarious.
Well, okay. We are lucky to get McDavid. We had to win the
100%.
lottery, but we won the lottery, so move on.
Yes.
There's that too,
Right?
yeah.
Like just move on. Did
That'd be like
we have
saying-
to win the lottery to get McDavid? Yes. End of story.
You could also, if you want to play the percentage thing and be like 11% chance, what are the percent chances you draft a franchise goalie in the 7th round? You could sit here and say the Flames are lucky that they found Dustin Wolf. And you can't even sit there and say it's good scouting or whatever. You can't say that. And it's the same thing I always say about those old Detroit Red Wings team when they're like, they scouted so good. Zetterberg in the 8th.
They had all the money. There was no cap.
Well, they had all the money, but also like if you knew Dustin Wolf was going to be that good, you wouldn't have waited till the 7th round to take him.
Yeah, that's
You can
true.
say it's like good strategy and all that to like take flyers on goalies, put up good numbers late, like all of that stuff, sure. But like if you knew Dustin Wolf was a Vezina Calder Trophy caliber kind of goalie, you take him in the 5th round and don't risk it, or you take him in the 3rd round and don't risk it. So, anyways, very funny the idea of luck playing into things for the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, the Flames are lucky the Stars traded him Jerome McGinley on draft day, right? Everything's luck when you think about it.
They won a bunch of cups with him.
You know what's not luck? The Oilers in closeout games in the Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl era. Think about last year. When it was game 5, 6, or 7 of a series, the Edmonton Oilers were 7-2 last year. The only games they lost, they beat Kings in game 5, which was their first chance to put away the LA Kings. They go take on the Vancouver Canucks. They did lose game 5, but then it was game 6 and the first chance to put them away in game 7, they put them away. First and only chance. Dallas, they win game 5, first chance to put away the Stars in game 6. They take care of business on home ice. Stuart Skinner steals them one, but they played still.
They did
I'll say good. Against the Florida Panthers, you win game 5, you win game 6. They cancel game 7. No one knows what happened. But again, 7-2 in games 5 through 7 of a series last year. And I mean, listen, they traditionally play well in these situations. You can even go back, like just talking purely about when you have a chance to put away a team for the first time, do you do it? When they beat the Calgary Flames, first chance to put them away, buried them. When they played LA that year, first chance to put them away, buried them because it would have been game 7.
Yeah, they're good at smelling blood.
Yeah.
And acting accordingly.
Yep.
Minus game 7 last year, but the stakes were so high and butts were tight.
And they'd already overcome so much in that series too.
I know.
Now,
As long as they, but imagine if they played that game fast and loose like they did to win those games. Like, who knows what that outcome would have been?
we could have all retired.
I would have shut down the Oilers Nation.
This is what we're doing for.
Yeah. Anyways,
Job's done.
They're just very good at putting teams away. So, anyways, shout out to our friends at Budweiser for the game notes. By the way, shout out to Budweiser for hooking me up with a 6 sweater.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? I want one.
Yeah, that looks
Says
pretty
City
good.
champions.
Let's see the back.
The
Yeah,
back's
the
cool.
back's even better.
Want me to turn around?
Yep.
How do I turn around in my chair?
Oh
Stand
my
up.
You're good,
lord,
yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
There you go.
Make them remember who you are.
How do I get one?
Then it says proudly brewed in Edmonton by Mark Messier. I think that's
Yep.
what the last part says. It does say Mark Messier though.
It does, yeah.
How do I get one?
Great hat choice today as well, Ty.
Thank you. Yeah, well, the red, I think, matches up.
How do we
nicely.
get one?
I don't know. They sent one to the office, and I put it on.
Just one.
They sent one.
It looks too big for you. You should probably give it
Liam,
to
in
me.
5 minutes, you get the second half of the show. You get the
It does
sweater.
look too big for you, doesn't it?
I already washed it in hot water and put it through the dryer to try shrink it down.
And it's still too big.
It's still a little bit too big. Yeah, it's a little baggy.
Might need to give it to the big guy over here.
I don't know. I was leaving the house today. Amber said, "You look so good in that hoodie." So I don't think so. I think I'm keeping this one. Budweiser, send us more.
Ew.
Budweiser, send us a whole run of hoodies. Say you.
Otherwise, make me look good, please.
Yeah.
Even though I'm wearing this dope Mobilized Nation hoodie. Thank you very much.
NationGear.ca if you want to get one of your own. Shout out to Dusty LeGrand and the fine folks over at Mobilize. Love it.
This is Cal Pickard right here. Our goaltending warrior.
Speaking of merchandise, there will be a pop-up shop tonight at Greta.
And those shirts, incredibly comfortable.
Those are great. Our Hope Will Never Die oil up shirts were Kennedy knocked this design out of the park.
Yeah, I love this
from
design.
the inspiration that comes from Grant Fear's mask. I love I'm a big fan of like a simple front, busy back kind of tee like that.
And sweater.
Yeah. But NationGear.ca if you want to get one. Greta tonight if you want to have a good time.
Oh, times will be had.
Game day specials on once again. Half price wings specials on pitchers
of beer.
Beer in general.
Yep. Going to be giving out game cards. It's not like our whole on event. Come on. Get down to Greta. Thursday's basically Friday. Ty, what's your line?
If you're going to be hungover on company time.
Bang.
You have a lot of things.
I do.
That's good.
What was the other one that you said the first time Jay called you out on? What do you say?
Bridge too far.
Bridge too far.
Bridge too far.
What did you just say?
Under the bridge.
Yep.
Bridge
Water
too
under
far.
the bridge.
And then if you're going to be a big drinker, you got to be a big pisser.
You do. If you're going to be a big drinker, you got to be a big pisser.
What does that mean? You got to piss a lot?
Yep.
I strongly disagree.
Oh,
You can take
Liam.
That you can take that at
The
face
guy
value.
that had the drip analogy cannot connect the dots on that?
I just wanted to make sure I understood
Yours
the
is 3D
context.
chess. That's a checker statement. That is pretty.
Well, I understood
connected.
it. I just think if you're drinking, don't piss.
Do you know how biology works?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't want to crack that seal.
I was going to say you don't want to break the seal,
Yeah.
but,
but
once it's
breaking the
broken,
seal is a myth.
you're a
Strong-
what?
No,
disagree.
it's true. It's true.
It's not true.
It
You're
is
just
true.
if you sat. It's
So
people are
okay,
like,
let's
once
talk
I-
about this. I get it. So is there a proverbial seal? No.
Yes.
No, there's
What
no
are you-
seal that is broken. It's just
It's a
it
mental
takes
game.
time for your body to process all the liquid that's in it and then put it into your piss sac,
Yeah.
bladder,
You're flat.
into your bladder to then pee. But once the factory is going and you keep the input going,
You're pissing.
you're that tank is constantly in
but it's
fill
not
mode.
about the seal breaking. It's about the fact that you're keeping the input
So
going.
it doesn't matter how long that's the whole reason why it takes you a little bit longer to piss from when you start drinking to once you're in the midst of drinking. It isn't that event that you just create. It's like, oh, well, now the floodgates are open and I'm just going to be pissing because I pissed. It's like, no, the body is now in its
Because you put it up here.
piss factory mode.
It's like when you go to bed.
You say you put.
What
It's a mind game. Pissing is a mind
so
game.
you just want to uncomfortably hold it and risk damaging the whole piss factory?
No, I'm just not thinking about pissing. But when I go and piss, then I'm thinking about pissing more.
what?
No, I forget.
100%.
Your body-
Okay, on the this is a bit of a different experiment. but
I
on
really
the
hope Louie's not here yet, right?
I don't think he is.
Okay,
Louis
good.
might have
on the
some takes.
7-hour stream.
Tyler?
Okay, oh yes, you
a
break
myth.
it. On a 7-hour stream, how many times did you piss?
2 times, 3 times.
Ask me how many.
I shotgunned like 7 beers,
exactly.
Liam.
You broke the seal. I didn't piss once.
You didn't shotgun
What was
one
the
beer.
intake?
I had a lot of water and a few Diet Pepsis.
Oh, well,
You had 1 Diet Pepsi and like 2 glasses of water.
the liquid
I had-
intake is
and
not the same.
mentally, I was engaged and,
And
didn't have to
also,
piss.
alcohol is a diuretic.
Exactly.
Okay, we got to clean it up.
And that's
So
So
why
it
when
promotes you to piss. So
Exactly.
if
So you
he's
break the seal.
what?
That's breaking the seal. Aaron had it. It said yes.
what?
No,
It said it was a
it's-
myth.
It says it's a myth.
It says yes,
Unfortunately.
breaking the seal. That's all I could see.
I disagree with this Google, but
There is
everything I just
zero
Googled said
seal.
it's a myth.
It's just we use that term
a
because it
mental
makes
seal.
sense. It makes sense.
It's a mental seal.
It is not a mental seal.
There is.
You could drink all night and not pee.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble.
What does that mean?
We have a doctor in our YouTube chat.
What does that mean? You'd be in trouble.
You'd probably piss the bed if you don't pee when you're drunk.
So you're actually saying you can go a whole night and not piss, and then you're worried about pissing the bed. That's your fear.
No, I always piss before I go to bed. It's a healthy thing.
Oh
Oh my
It's
God,
the
you're not
best of us.
answering the question. You're saying you can go a whole night of
No.
drinking and not pee.
No, I'm going. I don't care. I'm just saying it's real.
But you're talking about it's a mind thing, and you're bragging about it in
It
a
is a mind
7-hour
thing.
stream. So I don't know what are you after here. There is no seal.
You're on one today.
I'm just saying, if you don't go, you're not thinking about pissing. But once you go once, you're mentally in your head like,
No, you're not in your head. The last thing you want to do is pee.
I want McMullen to
Is
count
it
your piss
real?
breaks tonight.
You want,
I want him
The
to count your
last
piss
thing you
breaks.
want to do
I'll
when you're
vlog it.
drinking is pee. That's why they've invented diapers for people to go to concerts. Because they don't want to leave to piss.
Tell me more.
make a poll, Aaron.
This is craziness.
I really like Mistaken Mexican, who said he's mastered the to the bathroom and back in one TV timeout thing at Rogers.
Wow.
That's a skill.
I do think you need an aisle seat, or it helps a lot if you have an aisle seat. Because if you know, it's first TV timeouts are first whistle after 14, first whistle after 10, and after 5, as long as it's not an icing a goal, sometimes on the power play.
I know I've told this story before. I don't know if I've told it on this show, but if any of you in the audience have been to the MCG in Melbourne, no, the Melbourne Cricket Ground,
MSG.
Oh,
Gotcha.
you want to talk about a machine that is designed to piss and drink. You can leave your seat. They run a trough system in the bathroom so they can just take maximum capacity, and you can go take a really quick leak, and then you go to the concession line. There is a priority line for people buying beer.
Really? No,
So
that's
that they're just
smart.
pouring out cups. So you go through this and you just go and grab it, and then you pay. You can pee and grab. You can get, and they'll sell you 4 beers at once, and come back to your seat with 4 beers in under 3 minutes.
Wow. Now that is
Under
good.
3. Oh, under 2 minutes if
Have
you're
to
really
go.
committed, and if you're not a hand washer, 70 seconds.
please be a hand washer.
Yeah.
Oh,
for the
but
record-
I know that I know they're out there.
Wow.
And we're here to shame them for that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Especially if
shaming
you're
anyone.
trough pissing.
I'm
Better be
shaming
washing.
them.
Yeah.
Splashback? No.
If you don't wash your hands, let us know.
Troughs are for a sporting environment are the ideal pissing environment.
Yeah. Especially the Elks.
Yeah, just those circular troughs that you just lean over and go into, and then you can wash your hands right there.
All 2 in 1. It's crazy.
Yeah, you just
There's
one-stop shop.
to talk about troughs. This is a big piss segment.
Yeah, we probably need to stop at some
Viewership
point.
went up.
Yeah, viewership did go
It
up.
does move. Piss moves the needle. That's
Louis
what
not here
Tyler
yet.
always
We're
says.
good.
That piss moves the needle. At Folkfest, they used to have. This is like 3 years ago, just off the beer gardens. They'd have this bathroom trough, and it's literally just in the middle, and people just go around it. And it probably can hold.
But you got to
12
make eye
14.
contact with people then, right?
Like,
Yeah,
little
or
pig
avoid it like the
if you
plague.
have
Or
stage-
avoid it like the plague, but it's
Yeah.
tough because there's a lot of eyes.
stage fright.
If you have stage right, you're cooked.
Yeah, and then someone always throws a toonie in the trough, and then someone
Someone
doesn't
picks it up?
matter. Every time you go pee, someone cracks the joke about who's going to get the toonie.
All right. Are we good now?
Are you getting the toonie?
I think we just desperately have to get this show back on the rails.
Okay.
All right. We're going to be joined in just a second here by our good friend Louie DeBrusk. Louie's appearances on the show are brought to you by Litco Law. Do you think you might need a personal injury lawyer, but you're not sure and you don't know where to start? Litco Law has been helping injured Edmontonians for over 50 years. They pride themselves on being lawyers you'll love. How do they do that? They're friendly, approachable, they actually care, and you can always get a hold of them when you need them. Don't take my word for it. Go to litcolaw.com and find out for yourself. Every consult is free, so what do you have to lose? litcolaw.com. Sportsnet analyst, former Oiler Louie DeBrusk joins us for the second time this week. We're nice and fired up about it, Louie. First off, we just spent the last 10 minutes down some
Don't
weird...
even tell 'em.
I know, we went down some weird rabbit holes. I want to start with this, though. Your thoughts on Pink Pony Club being the Oilers' win song in the room. Do you know the song? Do you have any take? Oh, might need Louie to reset his connection real quick. Jay, we haven't had you on since we started talking about that, though. Pink Pony Club, win song for the Oil. You in or out?
Can I hear it? I
Pink
know I've heard it.
Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West
Oh,
Hollywood.
love it.
Okay, you're good. You're in.
It's a vibe song.
It is
It's
a-
not
it is
like
a
a
vibe song.
pump-up song, but it's like a vibe song.
It is a good vibe.
Yeah, I
like
actually
to
really
jam
like that
to it.
song.
Chappelle Roan also has a
Chappell.
song "Hot to Go."
HOTTOGO.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Hot to go. Yeah, she's coming. She's coming along.
All right, I think we got Louie
Drip
back.
by drip.
Now,
Yes, Louie, we can
sorry,
hear you.
boys.
Pink
I-
Pony Club.
I honestly, I wish I could tell you my truck studio needs a little work here. I think I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'm starting to get a little disappointed though. It's time for an upgrade. But Pink Pony Club, I heard the song coming in today, It's not a bad song. I got to admit, pretty good song. It's not a bad song. I was like, it's funny though because who is it that sings it? Sorry again.
Chappelle Roan.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you know what? I don't mind the song. And hey, if it works, it works. I guess whatever you think, but.
Yeah,
I'm pretty easy going when it comes to music, though. I like all different genres of music, and I'm pretty good with most of it.
It's good. It's good.
There's a line in the song, "Keep on dancing down in West Hollywood," and the Oilers were dancing down in Hollywood in Game 5. The last 5 periods of this series, Louie, have been all Edmonton Oilers. Is there anything stylistically in their game that has allowed this sort of flip to happen?
I guess, I would say desperation, and I would say just an intensity that's been there in the last 3 that maybe wasn't quite fully there in games 1 and 2. A team that was still figuring it out, and I think you can't overlook that. I don't think you can overlook the fact that they just didn't know what they were going to have going into the playoffs, how healthy people were going to be. And then every game, Chris Knoblauch talked about it this morning in his presser. Starting to put line combinations together that they feel can give them a chance, starting to find long combinations that they feel can match the depth of the Los Angeles Kings. And they're doing this on the fly, but they've found a mix they like right now, and it's worked, and it looks like they're going to keep that the same for game number 6. And I just think, when you start to find that confidence as a group again, this is a hardened group. It's a group that's been there before. They went to the Stanley Cup final last year, some long runs in that dressing room. They just they kind of know how to buckle down at the right moments, but not only buckle down, they know how to execute, and they're getting some depth. They're getting some depth scoring, which is critical in the playoffs. You have to have guys step up. That goal by Janmark was huge. Didn't score a lot of goals in the regular season, but that doesn't matter come game 83. Come game 83, you'll take it from anybody.
My guy. It's something. Liam, you want to talk about another Swede who stepped up?
Yeah, honestly, I think the most surprising player of the Oilers playoff run so far, John Klingberg. Like, what do you think has allowed him to find success so far in this series?
Health.
Yeah.
I had a good conversation with him, and it's been a trying time for him. And you got to remember, this guy was one of the most coveted defensemen in the league not that long ago. We were talking about him, and I'll tell you another guy that was along the same lines, and it was a countryman of his, and I talked to him about it. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has rejuvenated and, reintroduced himself back to the league, winning the Stanley Cup last year at Florida and having success in Toronto this year. 2 guys that were offensive-minded defensemen that any team would have taken on their team 6, 7, 8 years ago. These guys were awesome. But they're experienced veteran guys that have had to change their games a little bit. For Oliver Ekman-Larsson, started to get a little more physical. I think that Florida time was perfect for him. He got more physical, more gritty, started to defend harder. He's always had an offensive upside. For Klingberg, the same thing, though, but along the lines with him, it was health. He said he hasn't been healthy in a long time, and the surgeries that he had have really allowed him to feel good for the first time in a long time. And I don't think people underestimate. I've talked to a few of the players in the room about injuries, and we've heard Evander Kane talk about it missing a whole year. When you're playing with pain, and that happens a lot in the playoffs, but when you're playing with pain, it takes a lot of emotional and mental effort to get yourself ready for the games each and every day. And that takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you that we can't even really fathom until you've gone through it. And I think you're seeing a guy that's really excited to be in the lineup, really excited to be healthy, feeling good, and playing. He's an elite defenseman. He's always been a great defenseman in the game. And I know people will talk about, the defensive side, he cost the puck up. He's still feeling his way through, but he's made some remarkable plays. Real big executed plays at big moments in games. The shot pass redirection to Draisaitl, the first one we saw, and then that play in game number 5 to steal that puck off of Doughty coming out of the box, find Kane in the slot, bam, it's in the back of the net. That was a massive goal to tie the game, in which Edmonton had been dominating but didn't have anything to show for it up against a tough goaltender, Darcy Kemper. So I'm really impressed with how Klingberg has stepped in there. But the one thing I do know about Klingberg, and I remember, earlier in his career, he's got a little gamesmanship and jam to his game. He's kind of one of those guys. He's got swagger. Like, he can take a hit to make a play. He's not afraid to go to the tough areas. He's going to get in there and give you a cross check. He's gone to a Stanley Cup final before. This guy's got some experience, and he's been a find, though. There's no question. Him and Jake Wallman, for me, the 2 guys that have stepped in the back end, especially with the absence of Matthias Ekholm, they've completed the 6. I mean, they've been impressive in the playoffs to step in. And, for Klingberg just to be able to kind of take that much time off, come in, re-injure, kind of have to take time off to get back into the lineup again. He's been very, very solid.
Yeah, his vision and IQ is off the
Yeah.
charts.
Can't teach that, right? You can't teach that. I listen, that's the one thing he always had. You used to talk all the time about his wrister from the blue line and Oliver Ekman-Larsson's wrister from the blue line when he played for the Phoenix Coyotes. Get that puck on the line. They're not afraid to dance, not afraid to move, find the open lane. And then once they find it, they can execute it. They can get it down in there. So I think as his confidence goes up, we saw him do the toe drag in the slot and almost finish off a real high-skilled play again. Didn't quite finish, but that's just confidence, I think, coming back in his game. He's finding that movement again, but you can't undersell the fact and the impact that he's had coming into the lineup, though, because they needed someone to step up. He stepped up in a big way.
Yeah, another defenseman who stepped up really nicely, and he was very, very impactful last game, was Jake Wallman. And it's easy to think, man, if they wouldn't have paid the price for that guy at the deadline and then Ekholm goes down, going and not just getting a defenseman who can play every day, but a guy who has the experience like Wallman does when he was in San Jose and Detroit, top pairing minutes, tough competition. You can trust him really in any scenario. He was very valuable in that Game 5 win.
He's +8 in the series. He's been a plus player every game. It's incredible. And probably don't talk about him enough with the fact that he stepped in there and solidified that top 4, especially, and he's been able to jump over from the right to the left and kind of disperse himself around. Same with Kulak. Darnell Nurse, there's been some intermixing by Paul Coffey in the defense corps, which he's done all year long, so they're kind of comfortable with it. But I talked to him about, I guess it would have been about a week ago, and he said he's still figuring out the systems and playing with different people. We got a fire truck going on through here for something. I don't know what's going on downtown here. So that's the price you pay. Hey, that's the price you pay for the truck studio. But you know what? He's been great too, honestly. And I know he was banged up and he's maybe not even 100% still, but guys are gritting it out and just doing what they do in the playoffs and just getting ready each and every game. It's a process getting yourself ready to play each game. From the end of the game, it's the process to get you ready for the next one. And I think that he's done a terrific job coming in, and he's solidified again a back end that I think had a lot of question marks, guys. There was a lot of question marks coming into the playoffs about not just the team, but defensively, are they going to be able to get the job done? And I think they've quieted a lot of noise around the team in that regard. And it hasn't been perfect. There's been mistakes and there's been some struggles at times, but that is the playoffs. I don't think any team's going to sit here and tell you they played perfect games, because they haven't. You just don't do it in the playoffs. Game 5 was as close as they were going to get to one, I think. And they still had to fend off a push in the end in a 1-goal game. So that's why the playoffs are so great. But this is the 6 defensemen that we're talking about, and good on them. You know what? Paul Coffey has shuffled them around where he sees fit. Sometimes there's more ice time for players. Sometimes there's less. But depending on the game and how things are going, that's how he's distributing that ice time amongst the defensemen.
What did you make of Adrian Kempe playing defense for a shift or two? I'm sure you didn't have that on your prep sheet before the game.
I didn't. You know what? I had heard before. Obviously, he's playing the defense and the power play, but that's a little different when it's 5-on-4. I know Edmonton's thrown McDavid out there for a little bit of a warning in that regard, and I think it's deterred a bit. But Adrian Kempe is one of those guys. I think he could play D. I really do. I think he could play defense, and that's saying something. There's not a lot of guys in the league. It's a little easier to go forward for a defenseman than go back on D for a forward. There's no question. It's a whole different game. But he kind of has that swagger. He has that skating ability, and he was a defensive-minded forward. So when you're a centerman and you're coming back in the zone as a centerman throughout your career, and you're looked upon as that defensive forward, you're spending a lot of time in your own zone, a lot of time in your own corners, a lot of times breaking a puck out, sometimes skating the puck out. He didn't look like there was just no nerves at all with him back there. So I was very impressed with it. I understood why Jim Hiller did it too, and I said it in the telecast. I think they know they're going to be pulling this goalie here. It gives them a late attacker. It gives them a guy that can carry the puck out of the zone, and it actually worked. When they pulled their goalie, it was seamless. They were seamlessly into the zone, And Edmonton had to defend for a long period of time. Now, I don't know if they did enough in the offensive zone. They didn't get enough to the net. Edmonton blocked some key blocks. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Wallman had one, Nurse had one, I believe. There was a lot of stuff that had to happen to finish off that game against a pressing Los Angeles Kings team. But when I first saw it, I was like, did we just see what we think we saw? Did Kempe just take a shift in the Stanley Cup playoffs, with their backs against the wall in a game and not really, it was just seamless. We just jumped right in there. So obviously something they've talked about, a little bit of a plan up their sleeve. And you remember the one shift, guys, where he came on late on a change, and the next thing you know, he's one of those players that you have to watch when he's on the ice. Just like they have key players they're keying up against McDavid, Draisaitl when they're on the ice. Adrian Kempe has been that player for the Los Angeles Kings. Adrian Kempe can punish you. If you let him go or you give him a second, he's going to make you pay. When he came on as a defenseman, he came late into the play, and then he went down the left-hand side and made a quick play onto the net. And nobody really kind of recognized that it was him right away. And that was also a little bit of a sneak attack on the back end. So I don't know if you're going to see a lot of teams going with that, to be honest. But if you have a player, we always raved at Brent Burns, how he could play forward, could play D early in his career. He played both, and he can do it seamlessly. It's not easy to do, but if you have that ability, I think it's fantastic. Drew Doughty played forward up until he was, Bantam, I believe. Pee Wee or Bantam, I think, is where he switched from forward to defenseman in his career. So, again, there's guys that can do it, but it's not easy to do. I was really impressed that he was able to do that.
Last one for me, I guess, as we look at tonight, I do think there's maybe an element of this series where Jim Hiller running 9 forwards, running 4 defensemen a lot of the time too. I think it's maybe catching up to this Kings team. I think it was catching up to them in the third periods in games 3 and 4 as well. How much of a pushback are you expecting from the Kings here? Or do you think this is an Oilers team that it's kind of in their control tonight to end this series, if you get what I'm saying?
I kind of feel it's both ways. As much as I hate to be on the fence on this, I really feel that Edmonton has the confidence and understands that they've been in this situation before, and they've had great success finishing out series. This is a killer instinct kind of team. When they know they have your back against the wall, they don't back off. They punish you. And I honestly, I think that that's how they feel going into this game, albeit they know it's going to be a push and a challenge from a Los Angeles Kings team that this morning, for me, we're saying all the right things. They have a veteran presence in that room that's won. They have young guys that are hungry, and sometimes ignorance is bliss. They want to go out there and play a game. They want to tie the series, bring it back home for game 7. That's their game plan. It's prioritizing and just isolating, saying this is the next game. This is all you can control. I think both teams are saying the right things. It's about who goes out there and executes it. I really don't know what's going to happen. I do know for sure the Los Angeles Kings are going to push. This is a team that has a lot of pride. This is a team that's seen themselves lose 3 times in a row to this team. They're going to come out and they're going to leave it on the ice. I think that's a given, but I also think that Edmonton's going to be really hungry tonight to finish this series. I think they're going to come out. They're going to use the home ice fans to their advantage. It gets rowdy in Rogers Place, and they are going to be a hard team to slow down. It's going to be a battle like this whole series has been. I expect a little bit of ups and downs in both ways. Can't wait for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
And that building is just going to be rocking tonight. Louie, appreciate your time. Thanks for stepping up and doing this, and enjoy the game tonight. Have a good call.
Sounds good, guys. Hope it's a good one. Take care.
There you go. Louie DeBrusk, Sportsnet analyst. You'll catch him tonight on the broadcast. He was brought to you by Litco Law and also by Tourism Jasper. This summer, find your happy place in Jasper. From hiking trails, paddling wild waters, sharing laughs by the fire, happiness finds you here. Jasper is open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. So drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, and maybe even stay up late because your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Go to jasper.travel/summer to plan your trip. Loved that from Louie DeBrusk. Loved it.
Louie's the best.
He is. And you know what? Monday, we didn't have a great connection with him, and he was the one. I didn't text him. He stepped up and said, let me come back on again later in the week. Want to make it up. So, Louie,
he's a man of the people.
He is.
He truly is.
One of us. One of us.
He's a
good guy.
And just, yeah, he's good at what he does.
I liked what he said about Klingberg in the comparison to OEL, too. Like, those are two guys who early in their careers, you could say when they were at the peak of their careers, weren't necessarily known for, like, defense, shutdown, all that. OEL went to Florida after the Vancouver buyout, totally reinvented his game. And then you look at Klingberg and listen, maybe getting ahead of myself with this conversation here, but if you really do continue to like what you see from him in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you look at him and say, hey, what's a 1 year, $1.5 million deal?
Yeah.
Do you like that? Come back next year and see if you can earn a spot every day on this blue line again.
He does something every game that impresses you. You're like, that, like, it's whether it's a little pass or a little, and I shouldn't say like multiple times a game. It's like, God, this guy's, he's got it. Obviously, like, he's not going to be the same player he was, but when you've got the IQ and obviously he's got talent, like, it's those little things that he does are just, like I said, they shock me every game.
He's not a big guy. He's not a physical guy, but he wins a fair amount of battles. He comes out of the scrum with the puck, and then he's calm,
smart.
cool, collected.
Yeah.
Doesn't rush anything, and you're like, wow, where was that?
He's not a bull in a china shop. He does everything with like intention and finesse. Sometimes he gives up a pizza, and like whatever. He's a riverboat gambler too, right? Like why? Same thing about Bush, right? It's like, what are you gonna get? Like, and Klingberg can show that other side while trying to do like the finesse things that he does. Sometimes that gets exposed, but on the whole, the body of work these last few games has been amazing.
All right. There was something from Chris Knoblauch the other day I wanted to play because it lines up with one of the questions I asked Louie. So we're going to get to some sound in the room. It's going to be brought to you by Star Mechanical, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company, one of Edmonton's biggest locally owned and operated businesses as well. They've been working in the community for more than 2 decades, and they work with the top local award-winning home builders on their new homes, and they work closely with CHBA on events like the Awards of Excellence in Housing. They don't have expensive rates. They focus on being as cost-conscious as they can for you, the customer. StarMechanical.ca. Chris Knoblauch talking the other day about his 4 forward lines and using them. I thought this was interesting.
What did you guys do so well, so much better than every other game?
I think everyone was just ready for the challenge. Coming into this building, playing against a good team, but also that we're going to challenge every line to bring something tonight. And there's no line that we're hiding. We can have our 4th line play against the other team's top line. Like, we feel very confident with that. And doing that, we don't have to worry about matchups. We can just roll our lines. And, you know, obviously we're going to put Leon and Connor out for special shifts in the offensive zone or whatever it is. But just, I think everybody was ready to bring their A game, and most of them did.
That's the whole thing. Game 1 and 2, outside of Connor and Leon, like, all the lines were kind of new, right? Players like Trent Frederick, Evander Kane, getting their legs back underneath them, you know, and also lines starting to gel. Like, everything is just starting to connect, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Again, we talked about this yesterday, but I'm really encouraged by the way Podkolzin and Arvidsson are still making an impact, and especially a guy like Arvidsson whose season, it's not quite the same, but there are some parallels to like a Connor Brown last year. You're brought in to be a 30-goal guy in the top 6. It's like, is he going to play with Connor or Leon? Who's he a better fit with? And it turns out that, hey, he's going to be a 4th liner, but he's finding a way to play that role. It's not like he's sulking. It's not
effective.
It's not like he's not giving it 100% or anything like that. So really, really impressed with Victor Arvidsson so far in this series.
Podkolzin has been an absolute dog.
Yeah, he has so many hits.
He's just dog, and he's due. So much so, not part of the betting challenge, but I have bet on a pod goal tonight.
The craziest part is Zach Hyman's a dog the last 2 games.
He's
double-digit hits.
That's and it's because he's not scoring. Like, that's fine. Give me one or the other. I'd love to see Hyman start scoring. I feel like he's due.
Yeah.
Podkolzin has been on the ice for 1 5-5 goal against, and I'm 95% sure it was that Arvidsson mistake.
Oh, yeah, the one he coughed up, it would have happened.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, he's hungry on that puck, man.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
He just needs to shoot more. He's so determined to try to make a play. I think he needs to fire the puck more.
Needs to remember how he got here.
Yeah.
And it was being a power forward that can score a ton of goals.
Maybe he's in the AHL because he's a dog now. Like,
maybe.
All right, boys. Quickly, let's do a little lineup report for our friends at Oodle Noodle. 15 locations in the Edmonton area. And what are the surrounding communities? St. Albert, Fort Saskatchewan,
Sherwood Park,
Spruce Grove.
Spruce Grove's got one. Leduc has one too?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh my God, where are you guys not? And then even down in Calgary.
Even down in Calgary.
Calgary Airdrie?
We're working on a special location right now, but
no special. Like north or south? Central, perhaps? Red Deer?
I'm not
Not going to tell us.
just going to
All right.
leave it in the air for now.
Wow.
Download their app today, sign up for their loyalty program, and get 15,000 points. That's a $15 value. All right, lineup report. Here's what we know. Everything is staying the same. For the Oilers, same 4 forward line, same 6 defensemen. Calvin Pickard is starting between the
Why
pipes.
change it?
Why change it if it ain't broken? I know some of you were saying, like, when does Jeff Skinner ever get back in? He gets in next round.
We don't need him in, right? Like I said, we've got 4 lines clicking. We can roll them. Clearly, the team is playing a lot more structured or defensive-minded with Pickard and net. Like, it's not a slight on Stu or, like, who's better between the two. It's just we've been a completely different team since Pickard's in the net. And is that because of Pickard? Who knows? But we're getting W's. Pickard has been making some important saves in crucial times, like when there's melees and stuff like that. Like, he's let in some a softie here or there, but he's doing his job. And we're now the team in front of the goalie that we need to be, regardless of who's in net.
I think there might be a slight change to the Kings lineup.
Yeah, so they made a couple of changes for Game 5 when Jordan Spence and Alex Turcotte re-entered the lineup. I'm reading from the LA Kings Insider website that it's the same lineup.
But were Gavrikov and Spence together? That's what I'm looking at.
They were always skating together for morning skates, and then in the game, they flip Edmonton over to the other side, I think.
Well,
Every game they've had a young guy next to them, and it doesn't go
They
that
aren't
way.
using it, yeah. So
makes no
obviously
sense.
Kemper
All right.
v. Pickard between the pipes tonight for the Oilers. Gentlemen, shall we get...
Good job on the Oilers really rattling his cage, even though he was holding his
Kemper?
net, but just they were staying.
man, he
In
could
his
not hold
business.
on to anything. Yeah, and they were
a lot off the
crashing.
glove and sitting in front of
Tons.
them.
And I
the Janmark
appreciate
goal.
that the refs didn't blow their whistles too early with it.
There was once they
reckoned-
did, though, and it pissed me off.
On that one where
Arvidsson.
Arvidsson hit the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have frustrated me more if they had scored, but
Obviously, yeah.
still, I think they recognized what was happening at least, which was good.
All right, let's do our Bet365 Game Day Betting Challenge. Bet365 is an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they got you from game props, player props, totals, and money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, and the Stanley Cup champion. Much, much more over at Bet365. Whatever you bet, it's never ordinary. Download the app and get in on the game. Must be 19 or older.
Did you hit last game? You had too many legs.
Connor, I lost every bet I actually placed on the game because
It's because you chased it.
I went for McDavid 2 points.
It's all
Yeah.
about the W's.
And Jay was the only one who won it last game. So I'm looking
What
here.
did you? Oh, you went goal.
Leon
I
goal.
had Leon goal.
So Liam's 2-2. I'm 1-3. Jay's 2-2, but Jay is the leader. 3.25 units up so far in these playoffs. Liam, from the penthouse to the doghouse, we were in last.
Woof, woof.
By 0.10 of a unit. I'll go first as I usually do. Here's my same gamer for tonight. McDavid 2 points. Bouchard 3 shots. Oilers on the puck line plus 500.
Love it.
Giddy up. Chasing it once again a little bit, but I think it's all oil tonight. Jay.
Oh, I'm chasing it.
Jay is Jason.
I'm going Oilers money line. That is my constant in life. And I think he's due. He's only getting better with every game, and he is getting opportunities and he is getting shots on net. So he is generating. So I am going Oilers money line, Trent Frederick goal plus $1 million,
1,400.
plus
Plus
1,400.
$1 million.
I'm going for it. I knew I had a bit of a cushion,
Yeah.
so I'm going for it. The jugular.
I'm going for it too.
Yes, Liam.
Whoa.
I did Draisaitl goal and was it Bouchard goal?
Yeah.
Plus 1,000.
Not even putting money
I'm
line on
actually
there.
shocked that that's only like it's plus 1,000. You think it'd be less because like
Bouchard's 400 to score. But I like the one that you showed me during Louis' segment.
Klingberg's play. I bet it. It came down, but it's Klingberg to score. I showed Klingberg to score plus 2,000 anytime. He's plus 1,600.
What's he to get a
I'm
point?
still doing it. I can't find him to get a point.
A few of them.
So
they
I went
come out
Jake
later,
Ballman
don't
over. Jake Ballman to get a point is plus 175.
they? Damn. Well, he only has
good.
1 point in the series.
Well, tonight's the night.
What's his plus minus? You can do that on Bet365.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I think he might be leading the NHL in plus minus.
He
in
is.
the
I think he
playoffs,
is.
which
He was
is
going into last
crazy
night.
in the highest scoring series by an order of magnitude higher than any other series.
Are you sticking for the back for the bonus part of the show? Or do you got to run?
What's
Whoa! Jake Wallman to be over +1 is +145.
Woo! Been plus every
There
game.
we go.
Also,
Wow.
I did Klingberg goal, Wallman point, Oilers win is 45-1. Bundle them all up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
I have to go.
You have to go?
Or do you need me?
No. We're just gonna we got a few more things we gotta wrap up. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. You gotta do real life in a bit too. So.
Yeah.
All right.
What's happening?
It is a Sherwood Ford Giant game day, so thank you to Jay for popping on. Let's get to
Bye,
our
Jay.
game notes from Sherwood Ford.
We'll review the
Oilers
series
have won
tomorrow.
3 consecutive Game 6s dating back to last season. Let's go Oilers.
Giant Mike here. There's no place like home, and the LA Kings know that very well. Of all the Western Conference playoff teams left, the LA Kings have the worst road record, and they've already lost 2 this series. Let's go Oilers. With the win in Game 5, Calvin Pickard has improved his save percentage to .904 in these playoffs, and he's now won 4 of his 5 career playoff starts. Let's go Oilers!
Shout out to our friends over at Sherwood Ford, the Giant, for that one. Another game day edition of the show brought to you by the Nation Valet Service, which I will be using on Monday. And how great is this? So they need my truck for a little overnight maintenance, so it's got to be there for like a day and a half.
Okay.
They're going to come to my house, pick up the truck, drive it to the dealership. That way, I'm not like stranded at the office. I'm not stranded at the dealership. The truck will just get picked up at my house, and then the next afternoon, boom, they bring it right back. One of the many perks of making Sherwood Ford the Giant
I need
your
an oil
next
change.
dealership.
I'm getting it done with Sherwood Ford. I'm using the valet service.
You
It's
absolutely
playoffs.
should.
I don't got time for that. They'll hook it up.
Even just the convenience of like, again,
I'm
get
lazy.
it- yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Keys to victory for our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, Liam. It's outdoor season. It's going to be beautiful this weekend. I would argue if you have not done your maintenance on your boat or your motorcycle or any of your outdoor toys, you probably already missed the boat. But either way, our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, right in the heart of Sherwood Park, are here to help you and here to hook you up because they also offer a similar service. They'll come pick up your boat, pick up your ATV, pick up your motorcycle, get it to the dealership, do all the work, and then bring it right back to you. Shout out to Sherwood Power
May
Sports
long
and Marine.
weekend coming up. Get your stuff done before then.
There's usually a big influx of people around there. So again, they told me, beat the rush, tell people to get in well before May long. What do you want to see the Oilers do tonight for a key to victory?
Key to victory for me. I think last time I just said the big guns and the power play, and neither of those actually happened on the score
too,
sheet.
yeah.
So I think that tonight is the key for me. Like, you got to capitalize on your opportunities, and now those big guys had those chances. Like, you look as well of the Corey Perry had a great chance the other night, and we didn't talk about it.
2 on the power play, honestly.
Yeah, and maybe a bit unfortunate on the Wallman one. He made a great play because the puck
Yeah.
bubbled right before, but still, you would like him to get his body behind it at least and put it in the net. So I'm just gonna go with the big guys showing up and getting us across the line because
like it.
we have a Hart Trophy nominee on our roster.
Leon Draisaitl. I was gonna do a little impromptu what's trending in a second, so we'll save that. But first, some comments from the YouTube chat, which of course is always brought to you by Odd Company Brewing and the Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. 2 locations in Edmonton. You know them, you love them, downtown and the Ritchie spot. Southpaw. We do love seeing big guns in playoffs in oil country. Jeff Skinner is in. McDry won't be quiet for 2 straight games. That's honestly one of mine. Key to victory is bring the physicality. Kane will score again tonight. That one in from Matthew. Chell, key to victory is Pickles, our boy Calvin Pickard. Jeff Skinner also adds, key to victory is the home crowd. And yeah, listen, if you check these 3 boxes, McDry, Pickard, home crowd, it's over. It's over. Handshakes again, Liam.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Man, if you're the Kings, you got to be sick of that, hey?
Well, you probably ran out of things to say.
Yeah.
On the line. See you next year.
And like,
See you next
what do
year.
you say if
See
you're
you next year.
McDavid going through? You're like, sorry.
Sorry.
I think you'd actually
Sorry,
have
Drew.
to say sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's getting to that point, but
Yeah.
hey, job's not finished.
Job is not finished quite yet. Janmark is in. Key to victory fans got to be loud. Odin Leon Tour more goals is going to hit tonight. Newfie Sniper says key to victory, play with pace, smart plays, positional defensive play. Agree with that. I believe the desperation and aggressiveness is going to open up high danger transitional opportunities. So maybe a Connor McDavid goal off the rush. Anybody?
Ooh.
He does have a tendency in these big games. Again, you think about Game 6 against Dallas, he scored right off the jump. Think about Game 5 against Florida. He scored that beauty zigging around the Panthers.
Game 7 against the Kings.
Game 7 against the Kings a number of years ago. The OT winner against the Calgary Flames. Like, Connor McDavid steps up in these really, really big moments.
McDavid first goal plus 900. It was already in my head, and now that you just said it,
Plus
Come on now.
500.
900.
He's, what did I say?
900.
9? Is Dry the favorite?
Yeah, plus 800 for first goal.
I might put a couple
What's
of bucks.
what's my boy Nuge?
Nuge, anytime, 250. First, 1400.
Okay. Don't hate it.
We
Don't
can
hate
live
it.
with those numbers. Thank
Yeah.
you, Bet365.
A
Never
little,
ordinary.
like I said, Liam, do you want to do a little what's trending?
I'd love to. You know, this is my favorite segment.
Yeah, it is. It's for our friends at Charm Diamond Centers. You can find out more information about everything that makes them a fantastic brand at charmdiamondcenters.com. They do have a location. They have a bunch of locations in Edmonton, including one in West Edmonton Mall, and they are also home of The Spot. They're The Spot. You can get a custom ring built and delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece program, charmdiamondcenters.com. Okay. Couple of things on what's trending. This one was trending in my own life. I got a DM yesterday on Instagram, and I'm very curious to see what people think about it. It came in from, one sec.
Aaron, can you send me a VMix link, please? I need to get this on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Because our monitor actually shut off
Yeah.
halfway through the show, and that's why I don't know what's going on at any point. But it was from Liam McCaffrey, who DM'd me and said, Tyler, I've had 2 people mistake me for you. Are you my doppelganger? Then he sent me this selfie. I don't know if he wanted me to put this on the show or not, but I am. So, Liam, apologies if you didn't want that out, I guess.
His name's Liam?
Yeah, it is, which is also funny.
Can you pass me the remote?
That is Tyler.
It doesn't work.
I'll make it work.
It looks like me with just
It's
like
up.
slightly changed features.
It does look like you from a distance, and like you said, when you zoom in, it's like a little bit different, but
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked what he's bringing to the table.
Ty, look right at the camera for me. Now pull your hair back a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You want me to do like the...
Yeah, like, are you? Come on.
Yeah,
that is
is-
exact
That
doppelgangers.
is a little weird. That is a little weird. Anyway, shout out to Liam, who says, again, he's been mistaken.
In
as
that
me a few times.
process as well, Liam, why don't you tell the folks?
Your doppelganger?
Yeah, I don't love this one.
Why?
So a few years ago, have you guys ever seen a hit movie featuring Hugh Jackman called The Greatest Showman?
Okay.
Great movie.
It's a great movie. One of my favorites. A lot of sing-alongs. I looked up P.T. Barnum, and I quickly realized, besides the forehead, we kind of look alike.
That is so good.
That's uncanny.
That's you 500 years ago.
The
Or
hair's
whatever,
curly
200
too.
years ago.
Like,
That might be me. P.T. and I might be long-lost relatives.
that is.
Yeah, it's a bit spooky, isn't it?
Also, people are pointing it out again. The fact that your doppelganger is named Liam is bizarre. Oh, and now people are starting to see yours, Liam. Yep. That's
Yeah,
so
I think it's the
funny.
nose. Not ideal.
Well,
I've been called
I
worse.
think it's the nose. I think it's more like the eyes than
Yeah,
anything.
the
and the curly hair does
yeah,
not
the curly
help.
hair.
Yeah, it's not great.
Liam for POTUS.
Hey, PT was the creator of the circus. So props to him and his family. And
There's a guy you want to be compared to.
He's wearing shorts in that picture from Davin. That's funny. Great Halloween costume idea. I don't know how many people would get it, if I'm being totally honest. What else is trending, Liam? That fan in Pittsburgh almost died or made. No one knows.
Thank goodness he's okay.
Well, no, we don't know if he's okay.
Thank goodness he might be okay. That's crazy.
If you didn't see it, basically, we're not going to play it. But there was a fan at PNC Park in Pittsburgh watching the Pirates game who fell from the second deck and toppled off the high wall onto the field. Apparently, someone on Reddit said they were sitting by him and he was like super, super drunk, which, I mean, ends up maybe saving him because I think he fell and just like limply hit the ground. But last we heard, he was like in critical condition. That's crazy. And
Was he trying to catch a ball?
No.
Oof, tough.
Yeah, the play was going.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Critical condition, Breadman said. What else is trending?
Thoughts and prayers.
Draisaitl wasn't put up for the Ted Lindsay, which was crazy, but was a nominee for the Hart.
That's criminal. I mean,
just
whatever, like,
don't
who am
get
I to
it.
argue against the guys who actually play against him? But the fact that 2 of the MVP finalists were not in the... I mean, whatever. Maybe it's fine. But, like, Leon should also win this. This should be a locker up.
Yeah, I think so, too, especially being the only 50 goal scorer in the league this season.
Yeah.
And when clearly it was the scoring was down, and he missed the last 10, 11 games, whatever it was. Like,
Insane.
I think he should. I know, obviously, Hellebuck had a hell of a season, too, with what Winnipeg did in regular season. And Kucherov, what do you win the Art Ross, right? It's called. Do you know a crazy stat about Kucherov? You guys see this one?
No.
Every year he's won the Art Rossi has not scored a goal in the first round of the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. He's won it 3 years, 3 times, I think. This was his third time. So that was nuts. What else is trending?
Blue Jays had a big comeback yesterday. 3 runs in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th on a Santander bomb, tied the game, then won it in the 10th. Hell yeah.
That's big. I'm looking for a new TV show. That's trending.
I'm going to watch that new one on Apple with
that's the
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it good?
Oh, dude, and it's all shot in like one shot. The whole second episode is one shot about in the show they're filming a one take. It's like an onion. It's like a lot of layers in there. It's unreal.
I did watch a movie the other day in
One Sitting.
The movie, you guys may have heard of it. How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh my God, Liam.
I thought you were going to say Sinners.
No, it does look good though. Haley Seinfeld. How to Train Your Dragon. You seen it? Anyone?
Yeah,
No.
I've seen it.
Unreal. Such a great movie.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, big time.
Really tug at your heartstrings?
No, not really. I didn't find it to anyway. I thought it was just like a fun movie to watch.
It's a good movie. I'll say I've watched it once. I don't intend to watch it again, but
No, I did start watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 yesterday, though. Didn't get through it. It was a bit of a late one when I started. But we've got the guy. You ever seen the movie This Is the End?
Yep.
The buddy is friends with Seth Rogen in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Baruchel.
Jay Baruchel.
Canadian
lad.
What Chaos, remember?
Big Habs fan.
He was also on Leafs Wanting to Take once, I think.
Left me on red last playoffs. Thanks, Jay.
That'll happen. They're also in it, McLovin. And also in it, what's his name? Moneyball guy, not Tom Cruise. Jonah Hill. Also Brad Pitt's in that movie, not Tom Cruise. Great cast. Also the new one, Kit Harington's in it.
Oh, well.
You gonna watch it tonight?
No, Liam, it's game 6. You got to be at the game. No time for movies.
I'll watch after.
Has anyone been watching The Last of Us? Let me know in the chat and then pre-gaming. That's for me.
So an hour ago, Pierre LeBrun tweeted, the Ducks have interviewed Jay Woodcroft. Also hearing Ducks GM Pat Verbeek recently met with David Carl. Believe Anaheim has also made contact with Mike Sullivan, as reported by others. Quenneville's getting a second interview, wide search by the Ducks. I know a bunch of people in the chat were saying that Mike Sullivan is going to the New York Rangers. While I do, everything I've been kind of hearing from the random people I talked to was like, that's happening. But it's not official yet. So I saw people talking about it, but I actually haven't seen it announced yet.
I got a hot take for you.
Okay.
If I was David Carl, I would never leave Denver.
I would never leave Denver either.
To go to the NHL. Just the fact of like the players they've already been recruiting, like with this WHL thing, CHL thing. Johnny Hicks, a goalie they got from Victoria, played for the Brooks Bandits. Amazing goalie. Just got Clark Caswell, who was like the 6th overall pick in a dub a few years ago from Swift Current. Seattle Kraken draft pick as well. They are just able to pick those guys now. He's going to win a championship potentially every year. He has the potential to do it every single year. And now they're able to get better players.
And also, he makes a shitload of money there.
Yes, and his job is so secure.
It's so secure. And you look at the NHL, shelf life is 2.3 years right now for NHL head coaches.
Not worth it.
So I do think like he's got young kids and stuff too. Yeah. If I were him, like if I was in that position, it's like, man, stay there until your kids are older and then go to the NHL. The NHL is always going to be there for you.
And plus two, he's probably going to be the guy that leads the U.S. at the World Juniors.
Yep.
Pretty much every year now. What's he been 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, maybe?
But he stepped away last year.
Oh, he's done now.
He stepped away because he said he doesn't like being away from his family.
Well, that'll do it.
So
he did 2 years before that, though, right? Yeah, he's a great coach.
The Rizzler met Julie Louis Dreyfus met the Rizzler. Elaine.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And he dressed up as the Red Guardian in that new Marvel movie. He's just this. I love him. I did see a clip the other day of the Boom guys, the Costco guys.
Yeah.
Man, our shows gets more views than they do now.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of had their...
there's only so many booms you can give.
Yeah.
I still boom and doom on my show. Look at the Rizzler.
No,
look at Elaine.
Yeah. Oh, don't...
You got to find the other one as him as like the character, though. Like he has like... the helmet on the mustache.
It's so funny.
So funny.
She's 64.
Really? Good for Elaine.
I'm pretty sure she beat breast cancer, too.
Wow.
Shout out Elaine.
Shout out Elaine.
I think she did too. I've never watched Veep. I feel like I should watch Veep.
Veep is amazing.
I think it's on that.
There it is.
What is that little
Shout out Getty. Shout out Getty.
Pudgy little rascal. He's always up to something.
What a costume.
What the fuck is he doing?
Look at his hands. Mamma mia. Oh, the Rizzler.
That's so good. All right, that's a good omen.
That was good trend.
All right. What's trending? That's Ant-Man. The Rizzler's going to outlive all these other internet celebrities.
I was thinking about this.
What's going to happen like when he hits puberty? Or maybe they inject him with something so he stops
Like, what-
aging.
He's got to stay cute like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's next, you know? Like, what can he continue? He has to get on, like, a TV show, I think.
Yeah, I think they do. They got to give him something.
He just rubs his chin, and that's
He
all
does
he's been
nothing.
doing. So.
He's just a cool dude. He raps.
My niece, who's in kindergarten, says that like the kindergarten boys do the Rizzler stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it again?
He transcends age groups. He's like the
Wow.
Aaron didn't go on camera. Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
That's a good one.
If I get on camera tonight, I'll try and do that.
Kyle, wise Kyle, you know what? You don't get to say that about the Rizzler,
Yeah,
even if you're
whoa.
kidding. 24-hour suspension. 24-hour suspension for wise Kyle for saying mean things about the Rizzler.
Wise Kyle. Not
Listen,
so wise
the Department
now,
of Chat
are we?
Safety comes down hard on things like
I'll
that.
tolerate a lot of things, but not the Costco guys and Rizzler slander. When
I
I
don't know.
realized that
I'm out on the Costco guys.
the Rizzler isn't even related
I'm
to
out-
them, that blew my
No,
mind.
just a neighbor. Although
kid, yeah.
I'm out on the Costco guys, but I respect it.
That's
I
father
respect
son.
the dad.
Yeah.
He did a good job. Got a bit more income. They became something, a bit of an internet sensation. They have a podcast. Don't know what it's called. Not better than ours.
The Rizzler, don't be so. The world is fine, guys, at least because of the Rizzler. Yeah, exactly. All right. You listen, wise Kyle. I don't even regret it.
Sorry, Kyle.
Sorry, buddy. You just don't get to say that kind of stuff.
You've been.
You're sitting, and you know what? Next show might be a show the Oilers advance. So I think you really got to sit here and think about your actions.
We'll end the show. Like
Maybe if I feel better.
12:15.
Maybe I'll unmute you if we feel better.
I don't
Or
think you
if
can. I don't think there's any coming back from
Oh
that.
boy,
You can suspend him from the channel.
24 hours, and people are not happy I did that.
You have been hot on the trigger
Yeah.
for kicking people out of the chat.
Yeah.
Poor Veronica
I don't
the
know
other
how
day.
to undo this.
She hasn't been back.
Oh yeah.
Let that be a lesson to the rest of you.
Yeah.
Don't touch the Rizzler.
I am ruling with an iron fist.
Doug has not been suspended for a little bit here.
Yeah,
he's been one who's been known to
Get way
get
too
it handed
horny.
to him.
Yeah.
a few times.
That's the way to put it.
Put it out like we're tweeting about a player injury. Veronica has not returned.
Yeah, I don't know that. Poor Veronica.
Oh, man.
Chill. Veronica deserved it.
What
Well,
about post game? I think it's the whole channel.
Yeah, it's just a channel.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling, and
I like the not wise Kyle. We will see that
you're
later.
getting an email.
I'm probably going to get an email from him, yeah. I don't know if I can undo it, Kyle. Honestly, I probably could have just done it for the rest of this show.
Yeah,
but,
that probably would have been.
Tyler Mielek just called me Stalin.
Wow. Although, I'll tell you that part after the show. Something to do with him.
The closing on the poll is breaking the seal a myth. 43% said yes. 57% said no.
I can't believe that kept going the whole time.
Yeah.
Just held it in there, hey?
Just
Another super chat. Let's go oil. Liam said he would do a backflip.
I thought you said you'd do a flip off our balcony like that Pirates fan. Well,
From
Liam would land.
Jazz Mookie.
just smoky. Should we end the
Look, I'm a pretty athletic guy. More athletic than people I think would think.
He invented the circus.
Veronica's not on the ice for morning skate.
But
You are
backflip.
pretty athletic.
Yeah, but
You were good at curling.
I was good. I was fine.
You're no Connor Nickel.
No, of course not. Same size neck though.
29 incher.
But yeah, backflip. I could do like a roly-poly. Maybe that could be the lead tomorrow. If the Oilers win tomorrow, I will do a roly-poly-oly in here. You know what that is?
How are we even going to shoot that?
We'll just aim the camera down. I'll just be on my head and I'll roll.
We can do it on the balcony. I'll get my phone.
No, it's concrete.
Yeah, we'll do it here. We'll do have
It's here.
some
It's
fun for
just
the lead.
hardwood.
Too much asking for addresses. I mean, Jeff Skinner, you were right there too, buddy.
Yeah, and also the funny thing was, and I'm not going to reveal it, but They were asking also Matthias Janmark, and then he's just like, yeah, I live in this town, like 2 days later. Like, refused to give it to Veronica. Paul Veronica just trying to make friends. All of a sudden, we've got Matthias just thrown out there.
Are you a good tennis player?
I've played tennis. I
Me
wouldn't
too.
consider myself good, but tennis is a very difficult sport.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Great badminton player, though. Not to brag. I am a good badminton
I can see
player.
that. Yeah.
I'll go, yeah.
I
I have a
used to
good
be
tennis serve, but the actual games.
Yeah, I
that
can't
was
serve.
weird.
I'm the opposite. I can't serve, but I'm good at everything else.
cricket. I'm good. I played in a multi-sports league once. That was a lot of fun.
Showing my
A lot of
midriff.
fun.
All right. Should we wrap up the show?
Yeah.
I'm happy. It's a game day today. I like having a loose show like this on game day.
It's 23 hours and 55 minutes till Kyle returns.
We got to go long tomorrow now,
Kyle,
so
you've
we
been
can get.
so loyal to us. I can't believe you just dropped a 24-hour bet.
And I shouldn't have done that. He's been behaving too.
He's been
He's
great.
been like largely good.
He came on. He said, "Hello, Liam."
He came at this guy. That's what you're
you
going
know
to get.
what?
That's what you're going to get.
As soon as I look at that and I see Julie Louis-Dreyfus again, it's just over. All right, wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Long stream today from Mistaken Mexican. All for you. This is a thank you to him for getting you into the game tonight.
What a gift.
You're going.
And it was my birthday the
Give me
other
a
day. It
fist
feels
bump.
like a birthday game.
Shout out to Patrick Seymour, my boy from Bragg Creek, who's coming in for the game too.
And shout out Seymour Butts.
Shout out to Seymour Wiener, the retired U.S. Army official who threw out the first pitch at a Mets game. He died.
Oh.
I was gonna say I thought he passed, and then the way you were saying, I was like, "Oh, he's still here." And then
Nope, dead.
yeah,
Lived a
threw
good
me
life
out
though.
the bucket. Yeah.
Yep. All right, boys. Everybody, hope you enjoyed the show. Boardsies Live, 7 o'clock tonight from Greta with pre and post game. No doobie tonight, but who you got?
Zachary Lang.
There we go.
I might come if the Oilers win. My plan is to try and park at Greta,
Good call.
and then after I'll try and stop by. If they lose, don't expect me.
That's fair.
Okay.
So I'll see you at Greta.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy the game tonight, everybody. Oh, let's get handshakes again. Let's get handshakes. Game 6, Oil Kings. 8 o'clock tonight. We will see you all back tomorrow. Double dip on the guest line as well. And hopefully everyone's in a fun mood. Enjoy the game. Let's watch the Oilers win. Oil up.
Kyle,
Nice
I'll
catch.
save you.